G'day, my name is Felix. Welcome to my little corner of the back rooms. Today we're checking out more 14 Days with You. Let's get into it. What exactly was I feeling? And why did I want to find out? Should we do it for the plot? Should we? Yeah, hell yeah. Do it for the plot. Before I could think, I find myself leaning over and drawing my face closer to his. Ren seems to be on the same wavelength as me, as I feel his warm breath fan against my cheeks as his own face draws near to close the distance. One of my hands shoots out to rest against his chest, and before I could stop myself, I leaned in the rest of the way. Almost immediately, I was met with a pair of soft lips and the taste of cherry on my mouth. My eyelids flutter shut at the sensation, and I let Ren's overwhelming presence engulf my entire being. The smell of fresh mint, masculine deodorant, and something that was so wholly Ren flooded my senses, and I felt myself becoming intoxicated by it all. It was like two pieces of a puzzle slotting together with how perfectly our lips seemed to meld with each other, and I couldn't pull myself away. One of his hands rises to cup my cheek, and I find myself keening softly as Ren tilts his head to deepen the kiss. He takes my bottom lip into his own and gently bites down before his tongue joins in, curiously prodding against my lips as if to test the waters. Ooh, Frenching! When I meet him halfway with my own, he seems to have finally found the reassurance he needed before deepening the kiss even more. His other hand rests on my waist before gently pulling me closer. What happened to the pillow? Is it still between us? Clearly not wanting any distance between us. So Ren wanted this just as much as I did. That was pretty obvious from the start. I could feel just how eager he was as he kissed me with more desperation and fervor than anything I'd ever experienced in my life. But we could only go on for so long before one of us needed air, and that someone happened to be me. Yeah, I have shit lungs. When I pull away, Ren practically whines at the loss of contact, and I watch with slight amusement as his lips unconsciously follow to seek out mine once more before his eyes flutter open. A beat passes and we just stare at each other, taking in the moment and to process what had just occurred. His hands are still on me, and it was only then when I noticed he was tracing faint stars on my cheek with his thumbs. I meant to comment on this last episode and I completely forgot. Is this a piercing hole? 'Cause it's not as dark as this. This looks like it would possibly be a beauty mark, but this looks like a hole from a piercing. I have a lot of piercings, so I feel like that's what that might be. Did that really just happen? His voice is soft, so soft that I could barely make out what he was saying. He's staring at me with so much overwhelming adoration in his eyes that I couldn't help but look away. And that was when I saw just how much that kiss affected him. Sorry! I beg your pardon! Where are you looking? As if noticing how red his cheeks had gotten, Ren lets out an awkward sound and timidly turns his face away from mine. Sorry, Felix. It's just that kissing you felt really nice. I didn't want to stop. Not that I would have kept going if you told me to stop. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'd really like to kiss you again if you want to. Taken aback by his sudden boldness, I had to allow myself a moment to collect my thoughts. Sorry, what was that? Nothing. Forget I said anything. Sorry, you probably want to go to sleep now, right? I'll let you do that. Good night, Felix. Giving him a weak reply, could he even hear me, I awkwardly turn over onto my side and settle back into bed, as Ren does the same. I feel the mattress shift once more and a heavy silence lingers in the air. Maybe he fell asleep already? Deciding to push my luck and break the silence once more, I whisper to Ren one final time. Good night, Ren. Good night, Felix. Sweet dreams. I'll stay up a bit longer just in case anything happens. So don't worry about a thing and just get some sleep, okay? No one's gonna break in on my watch. I forgot that's why he was here. I'll see you in the morning. The fleeting touch of his hand still lingers on my cheek as I find myself drifting off into a blissful sleep. What was that? End of day 1. Would you like to see? Yes, please. The sounds of birds chirping happily outside pull me from my slumber, as the streaks of sunlight peek through the blinds of my window and cast a warm glow across my skin. Groggily, I turned to my side and smushed my head into the pillow to block out the light, only to hear the faint sounds of tapping to my left. What kind of tapping? Cracking one eye open, I was surprised by the scene in front of me. Ren was already awake, perched up against the headboard as he idly scrolled through his phone. Okay, that kind of tapping, I get it now. It seems he was waiting for me to wake up, judging by how he immediately puts his phone down as soon as we make eye contact, and sends me a soft smile. Almost sheepishly, I shoot him an awkward smile of my own before covering my face with a pillow once more. Had Ren been watching me sleep? I hope I wasn't drooling. That's your concern? I would have more concerns about being watched sleep. Morning, Angel. His voice pulls me from my thoughts, and I couldn't help but notice just how attractive he sounded in the morning. I get hello morning voice, and for a while I insisted on strictly filming like right after waking up, because I like how much deeper my voice is then, but it just didn't fit in with my timeline. His gruff, sleepy tone was rather pleasant to hear, and I found myself wanting to continue the conversation. Lifting my head from the safety of my pillow, I was greeted with Ren's soft demeanor once more. I'd appreciate it if you weren't so chipper in this early in the morning. You'd be this chipper too if you realized that you weren't murdered in your sleep last night. Well, obviously I realized that. I'm awake, aren't I? Which can only mean one thing. That creepy guy didn't come back to your apartment last night. He seems almost smug as he leans closer to me. And it was then that I realized just how pretty he looked underneath the morning light coming from my window. It wasn't fair that he got to look so ethereal and glowing this early in the day, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to praise his looks or throw a pillow at his head. Jealous. I look like a gremlin when I wake up. My face is always really puffy. Ren doesn't seem to pick up on my speechless nature though, as he continues to beam down at me with such a soft look. And I found myself wanting to look away in fear of making things even more awkward. I guess I did a good job, huh? Do you have a praise kink? I'm sorry. Do you want me to praise you? Good boy. Good boy, Ren. He's a bit too smug. If you ever need my services again, I'd be more than happy to oblige, for free, of course. You're really talkative in the mornings, aren't you? I can't help it. I got to wake up to a real cutie this morning. As if noticing how close he was to me, or maybe realizing that he dropped his usual stutter, Ren immediately pulls back and turns his head away. Anyway, now that you're awake, would you like to go out for breakfast? I think that cafe near the pier is open now. We could go check it out, like a date, but only if you want to. Why did he suddenly switch again? I figured we'd at least be a tiny bit closer. We did have our tongues in each other's mouths. You'd think that would make us a bit closer, especially considering that we shared a bed, but maybe I was wrong. You mean the Driftwood Cafe? I didn't even know it was open to the public yet. Really? Well, what better way to find out than by finding out, I guess. I roll my eyes at his lame attempt at a joke before groaning into my pillow. Did he seriously want to go out for breakfast this early in the morning? Man, he was seriously a trooper. I don't like mornings. I mean, I go to sleep at like 5 a.m. With a sigh, I reluctantly sit up and stretch my limbs. From that action alone, it was like I could feel Ren's eyes on me. But as soon as I turned my head, he was already staring holes into the blanket with a blush on his cheeks. Shaking my head to dismiss those thoughts, I let all of my joints pop before breaking the silence once more. So, Driftwood Cafe? In the end, Ren and I decided to walk to the cafe together, considering how the weather was perfect and it wasn't that far from my apartment. Turning to my side, I noticed how the pink-haired man tries to, not so subtly, sneak side glances toward me. The arm at his side practically itches to reach out, and if I knew any better, I would have assumed he wanted to hold my hand. But instead, he simply tucks his hand into his pockets and shoots me yet another soft smile. The weather's really nice today, huh? Back to small talk, it seems. Right, small talk. I hate it. Sure is. If I'd known it'd be this nice and sunny, I would have suggested spending the day at the beach instead. Yeah? Yeah, we could go for a swim, or maybe even check out the rock pools. It's been a while since I've been there. Oh, that does sound fun. Oh, Leon, what's up, dude? Felix. At the sound of my name being called, I turned on my heels, only to find Leon running up to me with a sport bag, full of what I assumed to be his volleyball gear. Hey yo, Sunfish, it's good to see you out in the... Sunfish! Sorry, I'm so sorry for yelling. Sunfish are mad ugly! Oh, I did not mean to skip. Sunfish are so ugly, dude. The only reason I know what a sunfish is because I used to go kayaking with my dad. When I was like, I'm gonna say 11 or 12, we were kayaking. This is like back when I lived in South Africa. We were kayaking and I saw this fin like at the top of the water. And obviously my initial instinct was like, oh my God, it's a shark. But my dad was like, no, it's just a sunfish. And like when I looked at it, they're like these weird flat, I'm just gonna insert a picture. I'm gonna shut up, sorry. Hey yo, sunfish, it's good to see you out and about this early. I was just on my way to the beach to meet up with Jay and Teo. Did you want to tag along? And hey, it's Ron. Stop calling him Ron. It's Ron, right? Nice to see you again, buddy. Oh, it's Ren, actually. Sunfish? Huh? Oh yeah. Sunfish is the cheeky nickname Leon gave me when we were kids. I don't really get it either, to be honest. Yeah, is he saying I look like one? That's really mean. So, Sunfish and Ren, was it? Sorry about that, bud. I'm not too good with names. Faces too, sometimes. Yeah, same. I'm really bad at remembering names. I try really hard, though. But hey, it's good to see you both again. Doing anything exciting today? If not, you can tag along with me and... Angelfish and I. Angelfish! Is an angelfish an actual thing? Hang on. Oh, angelfish are actually pretty. I prefer angelfish to sunfishes. Ugly bitches. Angelfish and I were about to go on a date, actually. Angelfish? A date? I don't miss the way Ren suddenly pulls my arm closer to his side, nor the way he clings onto me as though I'd suddenly disappear. Oh, he's the jealous type. Oh, I knew that. I'm so stupid, I knew that. You're going on dates again, doll? Good for you. I'm glad to see that you're coming out of your shell again. Take good care of him for me, won't you, bud? What do you think I've been doing ever since he moved away? Ever since he moved away? Didn't he move away when I was like in elementary school? I might be misremembering. I'm gonna literally go check the footage. He did! I just checked it. He did move when I was in elementary school. What the helly? Bruh. Ren. Like me, Leon barely seems to notice Ren's mumbling as he rests an arm over my shoulder and starts tugging me in the direction of the beach. Ren, on the other hand, still latches onto my arm but doesn't seem to move. I can't believe my little sunfish is out. Hang on, there's a cat screaming at me. Hi, baby boy. I can't believe my little sunfish is out there in the dating scene again. I feel like a proud father. Aren't we like the same age? Oh, please, we're basically the same age. I thought so. I feel like a proud adoptive father. It's still weird if we're like the same age, dude. Leon pretends to wipe a tear from his eye as he leans further into my shoulder, and it was only then that I noticed Ren wasn't following us. Turning around, I reach out to grab his hand instead and tug him along. He immediately seems to perk up at the action and entwines his fingers with mine before falling into step. Alright, as fun as it is to catch up with my proud adoptive father who's the same age as me, which makes things kinda weird, Ren and I do need to get going. Oh yeah, of course, I didn't mean to take up so much of your time. He unhooks his arm from around my shoulder and inclines his head toward the beach one more time. But my offer still stands if you want to catch up some more. I'll be down at the beach with... I have to come up with a new voice, hold on. Oi. Speak of the devil. Almost like he appeared from thin air, Theodore, or rather Teo, emerges from somewhere behind Leon and makes his way toward the three of us. How did he emerge from behind him? He's taller than him. Though unlike most of my friends here in Corlid Bay, I actually met Teo in the city a few years ago, back when I used to live there. In fact, it was through our mutual friend Jay. I really like his tattoos. Apparently, they'd both known each other since the beginning of middle school. But even after graduating and moving on to university, the pair were still practically inseparable. According to Jay, Teo would always show up at campus to pay him a visit, though if I were being honest, I'm sure Teo only did it to antagonize some of the students and staff there. It definitely wasn't out of the ordinary for him to do something like that. Plus, it offered me a lot more insight into the whole assertive yet nonchalant attitude he often liked to put on. The first time I'd ever witnessed it was when Teo found me sitting alone at a cafe. I still remember sitting there slack-jawed as he practically shoved my laptop bag to the side before he sat down and took a sip of my drink like it was his own. Sorry? The satisfied grin from seeing my displeasure said everything. and had he not offered to buy me another drink, I'm almost certain I would have told Teo to get lost and bother someone else. But before I can reminisce any further, I hear the sound of Teo's footsteps drawing closer, and it pulls me back to the present. I watch as he walked up to us with a confident stride, before he purposefully bumps into Ren with the sole purpose of sending him tumbling into the metal railing behind him. Why? Why are you antagonizing him? But luckily, Ren manages to catch his footing at the last second, sending Teo an annoyed scowl of his own. Oh shit, sorry about that. Not sure how I missed such a brightly colored children's mascot. That's so rude, dude. What the hell? Alright, there's no need for that here. Despite Leon's tone, Teo barely pays the shorter male any mind, seemingly far more interested in Ren instead. Let me guess, you're dressed up as Benny the Buttercup? My 4-year-old cousin would love you. What the fuck? Oi, knock it off, mate. What's your problem? Dunno, what's yours? I could practically feel the tension between the two grow, so I decided to step in. Maybe you should introduce each other first, before you try glaring each other to death. Teo, this is Ren. He's my, well, I'm his boyfriend. We just skipped that conversation, I suppose. Well, that was certainly one way to put it, especially without bringing it up with me beforehand. At his words, I shoot Ren a confused glance, but the determined look on his face had me biting back my words. I guess he's my boyfriend now. Okay. Anyway, this is Teo. He's... Wait, how should I introduce him to Ren? I have to choose? I've never seen this man in my life. I guess he's a friend from the city. I feel like saying he's my ex-boyfriend or a fling would be, dangerous with Ren. Oh, but I kind of want to for the drama. He's my ex-boyfriend. Hang on, let me save. I kind of want the drama, to be completely honest with you. He's my ex-boyfriend. Yeah, I don't like to date people outside of my tax bracket. And don't get it twisted, doll, we were never exclusive. I never even brought up the concept of dating when I was with you. Damn, okay! Fucking rude. Oh, that explains why you were fine with cheating on me. The tea! Wait, what? I thought you guys were just friends. What a complete asshole. Excuse me. It's not cheating if I was never your boyfriend. Alright, why don't we change the subject? I'm sorry you weren't my boyfriend? Then why would you ask me not to see other people? Oh my god, dude. I need a drink for this. I need a sip of drink. 1 second. This is crazy. Okay, I've got a drink. Let's go. You think I'd want to share you with others and let them have what's mine? I'm sorry? If I'm yours, then we're dating. So you won't share, but you want me to share. Is that what I'm getting? Before I can step forward and knock some sense into that idiot, Ren seems to beat me to it. Oh! He grabs the other male by the collar of his shirt, but Teo only looks with a lazy smirk. What's your problem? Okay, enough. Look, why don't we just drop this, yeah? You really need to stop trying to pick fights with everyone, mate. Oh, don't get your panties in a twist. I seriously doubt Buttercup's capable of harming a fly, let alone able to throw a decent punch. I'm not so sure. I'm pretty sure he could beat you up, bro. You can drop the nickname. No, but I think Dollface over here should drop you instead. Besides, the nickname's kinda cute. Matches your style pretty well, don't you think, Buttercup? I could see Ren's hand clench into a fist as he advances toward Teo, but thankfully Leon steps in once more. Seriously, why don't we all cool off, yeah? I think we're getting a bit too heated. Look, we're gonna head back down to the beach. I don't miss the way Leon sends Teo a sharp glare. Are you sure you don't want to join us, Felix? I'm pretty sure I do not want to join. Thank you. I promise to make sure that Teo stays on his best behavior. No, that's perfectly okay. Sorry, Leon. I've already made plans with Ren. And I seriously doubt they'll be able to get along. You know how Teo can get. Yeah, you got a point there. Well, alright then. He leans closer to me, almost as if he didn't want the other two eavesdropping. If anything happens, I'll be in the area. Just come find me, okay? I will. Thanks, Leon. I give his arm a soft squeeze and turn my attention back to Ren. But by the way he looks at us, I can only assume he didn't like how close I was standing to my childhood friend. Though that could have also been because Teo was still around, and honestly, I couldn't blame him. Regardless, I reach for his hand once more and tug him toward the cafe, making a point of ignoring Teo's crass words as we went along. I barely notice how Ren's mood immediately changes when my attention is back on him, and he follows along like a lost puppy. His mood is so easy to change. We eventually arrive at Driftwood Cafe, and the smell of fresh pastries and brewed coffee flood my senses as it wafts through the open windows. And just as I thought, the cafe looked as though it had only recently opened, though it didn't seem as busy or crowded as I anticipated. Pulling me from my thoughts, Ren ushers me into one of the empty tables before he goes off to make an order with a pleased look on his face. It was a bit strange how he didn't want to look at the menu first, but I chalked it up to him wanting to surprise me. He's barely gone for 5 minutes before he returns once more, taking a seat in front of me with a huff. A comfortable silence washes over us, and I watch as he absent-mindedly fiddles with the ends of his hair. Was he still concerned about what Teo had said about his appearance earlier? Maybe it'd be a good idea to take his mind off of it. Hey, Ren. Almost immediately he perks up with wide eyes. How do you manage to keep your hair so fluffy? It always looks so good. Ren seems to flush instantly at my words, and he sheepishly ducks his head lower to hide his reddening cheeks. You like it? I usually just angle a blow dryer below my chin and blast the heat, and it just stays like that afterwards. Oh, so you don't need to use any product or anything? Not really. Just when I thought he got over his timid personality, it slowly came crawling back. Was this really who he was? Bro, are you dense? Ren must have taken my silence as a lack of response, seeing as he tries striking up another conversation. So, work's going good for you, huh? Finally got that promotion? Yeah, I did. I was honestly surprised. Why are you not questioning the fact that he knows that? I don't think we mentioned that to him, bro. I was honestly surprised when I first got my promotion, considering how I've only moved back here recently. Eleanor's been really helpful by showing me the ropes and... Okay, that you did notice. Wait, how did you know I got promoted? Oh, your coworker told me all about it yesterday after you left. Eleanor, right? She seemed really proud of you. Anyway, what were you saying about her showing you the ropes? I barely noticed how he managed to change the conversation back to me as I recounted all the times Eleanor helped me through my first weeks of working at the library. It eventually reached the point where it felt like I had been talking for hours, and it wasn't until something caught my eye that I finally stopped. Ooh, puppy or goth style? That goth style is pretty cool. Goth style? He also glances out the window and follows my line of sight before landing on the person walking by. They were decked out head to toe with heavy makeup, platform boots, and clothing you'd only find in stores like Not Tropic, my bad. Ren's eyes seemed to follow their form until they're out of sight, and the impassive look on his face made me curious. Yeah, it is kinda cool. Do you like that kind of style? Because I always thought you preferred something softer. Order 25? Oh, that's us. Wait right here. I'll be right back. I do like goth style. I really want to be able to dress more alternative, but a lot of the alternative stuff can be pretty expensive. So I mostly just wear anime tees and ripped jeans. Before I could get a word in, Ren was jumping out of his seat and meandering his way toward the kiosk. It really was a sight to behold, seeing Ren tower over most of the customers who were waiting in line. Even the cashier herself, who seemed to be at least 6 feet tall, had to crane her neck upwards just to look at him. How tall is he? But before I could blink twice, Ren was already on his way back with a large tray full of delicious food. What did you get? He seats himself back in his original spot with a pleased smile and begins to lay out the dishes in front of me. Oh, this is... croissant? Oh, I haven't had a good jam and scone in so freaking long, dude. Let's go with that. A delicious looking scone sits next to my beverage, and I almost heard my stomach rumble at the sight. How did Ren know that this was my favorite thing to order? Granted, it wasn't like I've been to the Driftwood Cafe before, but this was usually what I'd order at any other cafe. It was honestly like he could read my mind. Yeah. It's not that he's been stalking us since elementary school or anything like that. And what was even more mind-boggling was that he didn't even need to look at the menu beforehand. It was like he just knew. don't forget your drink. Ren shoots me another gentle smile of his before placing my drink before me. No way! The drink he placed in front of me. It was... I don't really like the taste of coffee. I prefer coffee flavored milk because it's a lot sweeter. Coffee can be pretty bitter, but I need to stop yapping, dude. I don't think you guys get it. Anyway, yeah. I'll go with the counter soda. I like to start my mornings with a Monster Energy drink. The fizzy drink was certainly appealing, especially considering that it was my favorite flavor. What one is it? It's an Ultra Fiesta, the mango no sugar one. I love that one, dude. Just like the ones I usually buy on my way to work sometimes. I hope this is okay. Unfortunately, this cafe doesn't really have much to offer, judging from the menu I saw online. Oh, he was looking at the menu beforehand. I see. Ah, so that's how he knew what to order. I even tried asking for napkins earlier, but I don't think they heard me. Maybe I should try again. I almost felt bad for him, but I also felt grateful for ordering me something that I'd normally eat at a cafe. Ren makes sure everything is on the table before putting the tray aside, and it was then when I noticed that he'd ordered for himself. What did he get? On his plate sat a strawberry sweet roll alongside a cup of coffee that was an alarming shade of black. Of course he drinks black coffee, dude. He seemed to pick up on my inquisitive stare if the innocent tilt of its head was anything to go by. Do you want my meal instead? We can swap if you want. I don't mind. This was supposed to be a date, right? Deciding to tease him a little, I shoot Ren a sly grin. That's okay, but you could offer me a bite instead. Ren almost seems to combust on the spot as his cheeks turn red, and he almost chokes on his own spit. He looks down at his food before glancing back at me, only to look down once more to scoop up a bite-sized piece of his food. I twitch as Ren's cheeks turn a deep shade of red, while he brings his fork closer to me. Not wanting to be seen as a coward, I lean in to take a bite. I didn't raise a quitter. His eyes widen almost immediately, and he seems hyper-focused on the way my mouth wraps around the... the way my mouth wraps around the fork before I lick my lips and let out a pleased hum. Get your mind out of the gutter! It's yummy. Try some. The pink-haired man seems to have an awkwardly long staring contest with his own fork. Oh, is it the indirect kiss thing? We already had an actual kiss. An indirect kiss shouldn't be that weird. Before he scoops up yet another small piece and takes a bite. Ren's cheeks are still scarlet red, and he seems almost fidgety with how his legs keep bouncing under the table. So I decided to take pity on him and not tease him for it. With a knowing smile, I start digging into my own meal with a pleased hum. I've got about half an hour of footage. I'd probably edit down a bit shorter than that, but it seems like a good spot to end. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.